It's my anniversary with YouTube. This video will be a little bit about my journey on Booktube from the very beginning up until now, but so I don't go off track and go all over the place, I'll be using the Booktube anniversary book tag questions from Read With Bintou, who I think is the original creator of these questions. My real anniversary with Booktube is actually in July, but I'm going to count it as October because of the little over a year I took off from YouTube to have a baby and quit my job and start homeschooling and all those big life changes. And I started making videos again last year in October. So this is the new Booktube anniversary, 1 year back, and I think it's time to celebrate that. The first question of this book tag is, how have you changed from your first video up to now? I've definitely changed in the last 3 years. And since this is Booktube specific, I'll say how maybe I've changed as a reader. I would say for me personally, there's been a lot of self-examination about the important things and what really matters in life. Trying to figure out continuing teaching, getting ready to have a second child, going through the process of deciding to quit my job and homeschool. Those are huge life-changing things, and a lot of huge life-changing things all at once. I'm really glad I took that long break. As a reader, how I've changed from that first video, when you first enter the world of books on social media, a whole wide world opens up. There were so many more books than I even imagined. And then the race to keep up. The culture of online reading is so rushed feeling, having to read so many books, having to read so fast, having to keep up with all the new hyped up books. I probably got caught up in that a little bit, but I think even at the beginning, I knew myself well enough to know that I was never gonna read everything. I know I'm a slow reader. The amount that some people read in a month is what I read in a year. And part of the journey of being on social media as a reader and a booktuber is embracing your own reading, knowing how much I'm going to read and what books I like to read, and just being okay with that. I don't have to read what anyone else thinks I should. I'll read what I want, and I'll make videos about those, and then the people that want to watch them can watch them. Reading should be enjoyable. It should be fun. If reading starts to stress me out, that's a problem. I might hop on a hype train once in a while, but for example, the new Murtagh book coming out, that's one I would have been excited about and want to read anyway, even if I wasn't making videos and putting my thoughts out there. But now being on social media, making videos, I feel like I can find a community of other people who also like the same books, and that's fun. There also is this really negative aspect to the online book culture that's probably true anywhere of anything. It could probably get really easy to get caught up in that, and I try to stay out of the negative aspect. I don't want to go around book bashing, gatekeeping, super negative reviews. I've made some shorts on those subjects. You here on YouTube with me watching my longer videos know that I'm not actually that negative person, I hope. Second question is, what video are you most proud of and why? I am going to say that the video I am most proud of is the last video I made from the first year that I was making videos. I had stuck with it for a whole year through COVID stuff, through teaching, through pregnancy, and then at the end of that year, I was getting ready to have my baby. I was going to be going back to school with a fresh newborn, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to continue. This was my second child, so I had an idea of what it would be like. And that last video, the title was just for my subscribers, just saying, hey, here's what's happening. I'm not making videos for a while. I knew that I was just taking a break. I wasn't giving up. I knew I would be back, although I didn't know how long it would be. But the main thing is that I was giving myself permission to take that break and to rest and to not put so much pressure on myself that I felt like, well, because I started doing this thing, I have to keep doing this thing or I've failed. Giving yourself permission to not do something is super important. And I think sometimes it's the moms who have the hardest time with that. Question 3 is, what is my most popular video? I'm going to exclude shorts from this because if you're just going by views, I'm not sure that's a really good indicator of popularity because shorts just work differently. People scroll through shorts and your video comes up and they might not have even chosen to watch it. It just came up and they watched it because it was there. So my most popular longer video is Paul Atreides is no hero. I did post this one to the Dune subreddit, and it was at just the right time. The movie was going to be coming out. I was able to have Timothée Chalamet in my thumbnail. It's a book and book series that has kind of a cult following, so the people who like the book are really into it. Also, I find the Dune subreddit to be very positive. I've never had anyone be negative or mean. It's not usually like fans bashing each other. You're not a real fan unless you've read at least the first 3. I don't see that kind of thing there. It's been a very welcoming place. Question 4 is, what has been an unexpected surprise of being on Booktube? I'm going to say that the thing that was unexpected for me, but that I really like, is the comment essays. The thing that I wanted to do to be different from other booktubers was the character studies. Go a little more in depth about the characters from the books, get into what matters to them, what struggles they have. And if I do a book review or a tag video like this one, or whatever, I don't get long comment essays. On a character study, I love knowing that other people care about those characters as much or more than I do. I mean, theoretically, I knew that if I really care about the character in a book, other people must. Makes sense, yeah? But those super long comments where someone else feels like they want to write their own essay about the character with all the things that they think and feel about the character makes me feel like those videos that I make actually matter to people, that they're important to somebody in some manner. I do think stories are important. I do think the characters in them matter. When I get those long comments, that proves it. Question 5 is, what is the hardest part about creating videos for YouTube? I think there's a couple. One is very practical, and that is just finding the time. That's probably true for most people making videos, especially when you have kids. I homeschool my oldest, so he's here with me. My youngest is a toddler, so I do most of my YouTube stuff during nap time. I know I have several videos where you can hear my oldest in the background. I'm okay with it because it's just a natural part of mom life. I have kids. Sometimes you can hear them, so you know I have kids. It's just how life is right now. But it's not just the sitting here with the camera on. To make videos about books, I have to have time to read the books. And then I make some notes about what I'm gonna make a video about. And then I film it, and then I edit it, and then I upload it. That all takes time. But the second thing that is difficult about making videos is more psychological. And that is the feelings of, okay, I'm putting in all this time. Why does it matter? Why am I putting in all this time that I could be doing something else? I could be putting this time into some kind of work from home job that actually made money. I could be doing any number of other hobbies, but instead I'm putting myself out there for other people to see and judge and disagree with. And sometimes I just wonder, does it even matter? Well, it matters to me, and that's what matters, yeah? Question number 6 is a lot more like practical, realistic part of having a YouTube channel, and that is thoughts on equipment. What has been the most useful piece of equipment? Oh, it says the most useful piece that you've bought. I haven't really bought anything. I am very fortunate to be married to a photographer. When I expressed interest in starting a YouTube channel, my husband just said, oh, well, I have everything you need. Feel free to use it all. We have since picked up a few things like a new tripod, a new microphone. If I didn't have all that, I would be recording on my phone. A lot of people start on a phone, and I think it's perfectly acceptable. I'm only using a fancy camera because we already had one. Getting started can feel really, really challenging when you don't feel like you have all the things you need. If you have a phone, you can sit by a window for some light and then collect equipment as you go. Question 7 is, have you had to deal with negative comments, and how have you dealt with them? Negative feedback or comments. Not a ton on YouTube actually, and usually the negative comments I get are not about me or my videos. It's generally people disagreeing with what I said about a book or a character. Most people on YouTube have been pretty respectful, like I don't agree with you and here's why, rather than you have no idea what you're talking about, you're dumb, stop making videos. I haven't had things like that. There's been a few, like on the disdainful side, maybe the pretentious side. If it's negative or like disagreeing with me, but it's still respectful, I might engage in conversation. I might answer the comment, well, here's what I think. If someone comments something that's mean, I just ignore it. I have other things to do with my time, and the person leaving the mean comment hardly spent any time on it, right? They had a reaction, they typed something, and then they probably forgot about it. So why waste my time, my mental energy, my emotional energy on worrying about it or giving them any of my time? And I kind of feel like if it's somebody being mean to me, I am far more willing to just ignore it. Oh well, they don't know me. Why do I care what they have to say? But if they're being mean about the book I have reviewed or the author or something like that, I'm actually more willing to engage. Partly because authors and books are like a shared thing for all of us on the internet together, and it's something we can have a conversation about. And I feel like sometimes in that instance it's worth it to respond, because then maybe somebody else coming along later, watching the video, reading the comments might be like, oh yeah, that's a good point, or whatever. I don't know. I think maybe when I was younger, negative feedback and comments would have bothered me more, but now I'm in a place where I can just go, psh, oh well. The 8th and final question is, what advice would you give to someone thinking of starting a YouTube, or more specifically, Booktube channel? First thing I would say is, yes, do it. Just make a video and post it. Don't overthink it, just get going on it. Next, read what you want and then say what you want about it. You make the videos because you have something to say. No one else should be influencing what you say in your videos. I would also say watch some of the experts. I really like Think Media, Nick Nimmin, Nate Black, Catherine Manning. Some of those people are just, well, they know what they're talking about, but also really encouraging. Sometimes instead of putting on a Booktube video to watch while I'm doing dishes or laundry or something, I will put on one of their videos about making YouTube. And even though I don't always take their advice, because it's not always applicable to Booktube, I still find it motivating and inspiring and encouraging to listen to those people who do know what they're talking about making videos. Also, you don't have to be an expert on something to make a video about it. You don't have to know all about publishing, all about story structure, I don't know. But the thing that does matter is that you have to care about what you're talking about. So if you're thinking about starting that channel and you really love books and really love talking about books, just film a video. You'll get experience as you go. You will eventually get used to seeing your face and hearing your voice, which can be really awkward at first. And if you're watching this, wisest bear, make some more videos. They were good. Going forward from here, I probably won't change too much. What I do right now is easy enough for me to maintain. I am interested in trying out different video formats. I am interested in eventually going live. I will have to plan ahead for that one. I will need babysitting for that one. I'll need my husband on hand in case I have technical difficulties. I am also interested in filming a couple of reading vlogs. I might do that with a couple of the new release books coming out. No promises, because I don't know. I've never done it. But I will definitely still do book reviews, character studies, and just general bookish stuff. And I'm looking forward to the next anniversary, and I hope you're there for it. Bye.